everyone. I'm Kim Coghill with ACA International in the Washington, D.C. office. ACA is the leading voice for the accounts receivable management industry. The content provided in this podcast is for general reference purposes only and not intended as legal advice. Before we get started on today's podcast about debt collections, I'd like to inform everyone that ACA International provides an in-depth coverage of the industry in its flagship magazine called Collector. This award-winning magazine, which covers legal, regulatory, state news, and a variety of feature articles, is available on our website at www.acainternational.org. And if you're a member of ACA, you receive a printed version of the magazine each month in the mail. So back to today's podcast titled, Why is a Debt Collector Calling Me? Today I have with me Jessica Hearn, the CFO and Compliance Director with Universal Fidelity in Katy, Texas. So Jessica, let's get started with you telling me, what is a debt collector?
A debt collector is someone who works for a collection agency and is trying to recover a delinquent account for their client who has contracted their services.
And why would the debt collector be calling me?
A debt collector contacts actually over 40 million consumers a year that have been placed in debt collections. They are trying to rectify delinquent balances that have been placed with their agency by their clients and find the best possible arrangement to rectify that delinquent balance with the consumer.
So one of my other questions is that oftentimes I think that these debts are kind of old. I don't remember them. I don't know these companies who call me. So how did they find me?
Collection agencies actually use a multitude of avenues to locate consumers. Their first attempt is normally based on their client's last known address and phone number that they have received for the account. If those contact points are not any longer at those addresses or phone numbers, then they will use their vendors that have databases that have consumer information for phone numbers and addresses, and they attempt contacting the consumer through those avenues.
And also, just wondering, can you tell me, what do I do when a debt collector calls me?
So the best possible thing a consumer can do is to take the phone call or respond to the letter that they have received. The collector or collection agency is contacting you to look for the best possible arrangements for the balance. They have multiple things that they can do to help you pay off the balance, setting up payment arrangements. If it's a dispute, they can also walk you through that process. But it is important that you respond to the collection agencies, since there are various types of debt. Collection agencies, depending on the type of debt and the state that you're in, they can possibly get judgments against you, lawsuits, negative credit reporting. So it is important to respond to collection agencies.
So Jessica, if a consumer needs additional information, can you make any recommendations as to what they can do?
Yes, I would respond to the phone calls and letters that you receive from the collection agency. And if you needed some reference points, the internet has different letter forms that you can send to a collection agency for any responses that you need to respond to the agency. But the debt collector can more than likely answer all of your questions on a phone call as well.
Okay, sounds wonderful. So the key point is to answer the phone and to talk to the debt collector, right?
Yes.
Okay, so before we close, I'd like to remind everyone that news and information related to the accounts receivable management industry is covered extensively in Collector Magazine and in ACA's daily electronic newsletter, which are both available on our website at www.acainternational.org. This podcast and ACA's other podcasts are available on ACA's website or wherever you normally listen to podcasts. Thank you and have a great day.